Hello folks, I'm not a video maker, but I did want to show the door that I had built for my 35-foot international bus. No, there's a lot of discussion about doors and what you can do with the bifold doors. I've taken my bifold doors out, and here they are. They're really easy to get out. There's just a bolt in the top of them and they just pop right out. Once you take them out, it's really what it leaves you with is basically this L-shaped feature all the way around on the three sides, the top and both sides. So that's pretty easy to work off of. I've made some modifications which I'll discuss here, but basically what happened was I was at the Habitat for Humanity Restore and I found this piece of glass which goes in a regular residential door that they had salvaged. And so it's got a plastic molding that's built onto the outside, and then on the inside is a separate ring that you then screw in once you put the glass in it. So based off of that, I figured, well, I can build a door somehow with that. And so in measuring the width of what size material this fit in, I discovered it was 1.5 inches. So I started out with a frame of 1.5 inch square tubing. And so this frame is built just perfectly for this glass to fit inside of, and then for the molding to go on the other side, and it clamps itself in, and it's actually got a really nice tight fit on that. So that's your 1.5 inch square tubing frame. And then once I had that built, obviously I had additional space that I needed to fill up. And through doing some measurements, I discovered that 2 inch by 4 inch rectangular tubing was going to get me a pretty good fit, pretty close to the dimensions that I needed for the final product. Now this 2 inch by 4 inch material is pretty heavy. It's an 1/8 inch thick. This 1.5 inch material is only 1/16 inch thick. So I was kind of worried about the weight, but in the end that hasn't turned out to be a problem. But what I did is I took and built basically another frame out of the 2 by 4 rectangular tubing and inset this 1.5 inch frame inside of it, and basically gave me a little bit of dimension to the door too. I'm not finally done with it right now. It's just primed and welded together. I still got to do some finishing on it, but that gave me something that fit inside of the opening of the doorway fairly close. Still had to add some material at the top and add some material along the side here. So this is a piece of 1.25 inch square tubing here. And with that 1.25 inch square tubing, you can see that I have a little bit of space in here, which will have some like a molding or whatever you call that stuff that the door shuts against. And I'm gonna do the same thing obviously in here, so it's sealed up completely. So I had to bring this top piece down. So I welded a piece of angle iron at the correct height and then filled in the gap above it with a couple other pieces of metal. On the bottom of the door, I put a piece of angle iron angled like this, so that way when you shut the door, it's going to shed the water off. It won't come up under the floor. And I think one of the critical features in my door construction was these hinges that I built. So this is schedule 41 inch tubing with a piece of round rod inside of it, and it's welded on the top and bottom. So this piece moves with the door, and these two pieces are fixed, welded to the frame. So when you open it, you can see how it works there. And I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to work, but it has worked fantastic. I'm very, very happy with those. They're robust. There's not a pin that somebody can knock out of it. This is welded on the top and the bottom. There is no taking these apart without a grinder or a torch. So those are there to stay. The door shuts and opens really, really good. I like it. Now, all that material really didn't cost that much. I paid, I think, $20 or $30 for the glass insert. And then at the welding place, I bought, I think it was $119 worth of metal. So really not that much of an investment. I did spend extra money on this door knob because I wanted the push button feature, so I didn't have to have a key with me all the time. And I really like it. you can touch that little button and it lights up at night. You punch in your code. Right now I have it unlocked because I don't want to show my code, but essentially you just drill a 2-inch hole here and a 1-inch hole in this side. You know, it's there's some measurement. I think it was 2 3/8 inch offset to the back, and it's screwed right in there. So really happy with that. And all I've done so far is just drill a hole right here. I'm probably going to have to beef this up some, do a couple of other little things here, but I wanted to make sure everything was going to work before I got too carried away with that. So as you can see, it opens and shuts just amazing. It's very robust. I don't think anybody's going to get through the glass. I mean, there's glass all over the bus, so you can only be so secure, but I feel really, really comfortable with it. I think it's going to really do good going down the road. So I just wanted to show my door. Pretty happy with it, and I know there's been a number of comments about it in some of the threads, and I thought maybe if people could see it in real life, they would maybe be able to wrap their brain around exactly how it works. But you can see that it seals up nice in here. I still need to get the rubber that goes around it so it gets that final airtight seal. Anyway, if you have any comments, I'm not a video maker. I'm not editing videos. I'm just showing you a raw video of what I did. If you have any questions or comments, I'll do the best I can at it. And I admit I'm fortunate that I'm a pretty decent welder and I have a welding equipment, so that has helped me a lot. But it really wasn't that big of a job. And if you have a welder or access to a friend that can weld, it just really didn't take that long. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video and I wasn't too boring. You guys have a great day.